Now, of course, a lot of Americans are buzzing about the upcoming election. We saw the two candidates face off in the first of the presidential debates. But lately, the internet has been abuzz with talk about the recent vice presidential debate. The two candidates met on the night of the 11th as the first two VPs to debate who are both Catholic. Biden and Ryan not only differ along partisan lines, but seem to have some dissimilar personality traits as well. And that was made clear by the contrast in how they conducted themselves during the debate. But first, let's get back down to brass tacks. Now, most of what the media cares about after a debate of this magnitude is to answer one question: who won? In an instant poll conducted by CNN immediately after the debate, viewers gave Paul Ryan a slight edge over the reigning VP Biden. 49% of people believe Ryan to have won the debate to 43% who thought Biden did a better job. Now, that original poll's scope of coverage was relatively limited due to the fact that it was an instant poll. Since then, CNN's poll results have fluctuated, but only by 1 percentage point. 44% give Biden the win to Ryan's 48%. Now let's take a look at what Weibo users have to say about that.
The left-wing media says that the right-wing candidate's going to win, and the right-wing media says that the left-wing candidate's going to win. Interesting. It's because Ryan looks better. The Huffington Post reported that they tied, so different media agencies had different poll results. We'd better wait and see what will happen. I think that Biden performed better. Ryan's too young.
Participants in the CNN survey also say that Wisconsin Congressman Ryan did a better job expressing himself than Joe Biden did. Now, although that may be true according to the poll, Biden has been getting a lot of added attention for the way he expressed himself with laughter during the debate. Possibly one of the biggest storylines to come out of this debate is how Biden tended to treat Ryan's responses and statements that he disagreed with by smiling or laughing. Now, although Biden supporters and other debate watchers may find his mannerisms endearing, the GOP is among the largest of those who have a different take on how he conducted himself. In fact, in less than 2 hours after the debate ended, the Republican National Committee already posted an advertisement called "Vice President Joe Biden is laughing. Are you?" Now, the video is entirely composed of footage from the debate and places the two candidates in a side-by-side comparison. Now, for the length of the ad, clips of Congressman Ryan talking about serious issues such as unemployment, taxes, and military affairs are shown next to clips of Biden smiling and chuckling. Well, let's take a look at the advertisement itself.
They're 4 years closer toward a nuclear weapon. I think that case speaks for itself. When we see, look, did they come in and inherit a tough situation? Absolutely. But we're going in the wrong direction. Slower than it grew last year, and last year was slower than the year before. Job growth in September was slower than it was in August, and August was slower than it was in July.
The Republican National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The GOP's idea behind the advertisement is to convey Biden's behavior during the debate as rude and impolite, as well as incompetent. The CNN poll indicated that 7 in 10 respondents felt that Biden spent more time attacking his opponent, and more people found Ryan to be more likable by a 53 to 43% margin. Did Biden really show his party whites too often? Let's take a look at what Weibo thinks.
He laughed because his opponent is too naive. His naivete caused him to laugh. What kind of toothpaste does Biden use? The Republicans are very smart on this one. The Democrats have lost this round. If Biden gets elected, the happiest person would be George W. Bush, because he can finally get rid of the moniker of the stupidest American executive. A true man never built his success on deprecating his opponent. I laugh too. I think Obama is going to win.
President Obama was paying attention to how Joe Biden expressed himself as well. The only thing is that he was about 35,000 feet up in the air when the debate occurred. But that did not stop him. The White House released a picture of the president and some of his aides watching the debate live on Air Force One. And Obama was on his way home from Florida, but still wanted to catch his vice president's performance, likely to see if he would have any cleaning up to do. Now, after all, the vice presidential debate is largely another platform to bolster the primary candidate's image in the eyes of the voters. And you can't mix and match a president with a vice president. They come as a package deal. According to another of CNN's polls, 28% were swayed towards voting for Romney, and 21% said that the debate made them more inclined to re-elect Obama. Now, Twitter also has its own pre-election day voting device called the Twitter Political Index. The system is based on an index from 1 to 100, and the higher a candidate's index rating, the better. After the finish of the vice presidential debate, Joe Biden's index rose by 3 points to 67, whereas Paul Ryan's rose only a single point to 47. Now, Obama's index was at 26 and Romney's at 20. The reason that the vice presidential candidates' indexes are so much higher than the presidential nominees is because more Twitter users were tweeting about the VP candidates during the VP debate. The Twitter poll is less managed for margins of error and more based on emotional evaluation than traditional polls. Let's take a look at what Weiboers are saying about it.
Obama being re-elected is better for China because his policies are milder. I hope he can get re-elected. Romney is a Mormon and a Wall Street elite, so he can only get support from high-class Americans. It seems that all his policies are made for rich people, so the odds of him beating Obama are really low. A public discussion on the policies, a burst of patriotism, that can only be achieved by an earthquake in China.
Well, looks like being number 2 to the president still has its day in the spotlight. Now, most concerned American voters are particularly interested in the presidential candidates' running mates because if anything were to happen to the president, they will take over the job. It is exciting to speculate who has the lead before Election Day comes or who won the recent debate. But even polling directors at major news agencies caution that it is impossible to reflect the views of every American citizen in polls. And either way, it's gearing up to be quite a tight race as November edges closer.